Gas Network presents Sports for the Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Bro Flying.
T-Buggy, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. Ain't not gonna hold you, man. To this day, bro, that intro never gets old, man. Every time that beat drop, I get a little hype, man. Y'all know what it is. It's your favorite sports show. Gas presents Sports for the Culture. I'm tonight's host at Bryce XXVII, a.k.a. Mr. Big Leaguer, a.k.a. the Good Mister, a.k.a. the Banker. You can refer to me as any of those. As always, I got the Dream Team with me. I'm going to start with my patriotic compadre on the bottom left. Introduce yourself.
I just want to say back to the schedule, run the program. Fuck Philly. Fuck you, Nick. Eat a bowl of glizzy. I wasn't here last week. But fuck the Knicks. Fuck the Mets. I'm a hater every day I come here. And hello, fellas. How you guys been? I hope y'all were throwing eggs at Nick.
Nah, actually, bro, you would be disappointed. We really let him get his shit off last week, man. We let him have the whole 8 minutes to just talk his Eagles talk, bro. We gave him his moment because they did win the bowl, man. We really didn't have a choice.
Fuck him. I should have just cut the cord. Yeah, we have a technical difficulty here. That's too nice.
Kick him off the stream and act like we don't know what happened.
Exactly. And then Logan back in after mid combo.
Nah, we ain't doing like that, man. Let's keep it pushing though. Bottom right, introduce yourself.
T-Boogie, man, aka Ski Boogie. I'm back from the mountains, all right? A little jet lag, but I'm here. Wash your hands, wash your ass, and stay warm. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Before we get into our topics and after we finish our introductions, we're gonna have to hear about your ski trip, man. I seen you was in the infirmary for a minute, but you bounced right back, my boy. My boy bounced back, dog. Top right, introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Young Rome 22 on all socials as always, man. We got another great show for y'all tonight. You know how we always do it. You come for the sports, you stay for the culture. So let's get into it.
Bars. All right, let's start. Before we get into these topics, man, let's start with my guy T, man, because we was all taken aback when we was on social media. See my man had the sling with the air cast. I'm like, dang, what they do to my dog? He on the double black diamonds going crazy. Tell the story, man. Let's hear it, bro.
All right, man. Listen, man. From the top, I'm on a little holiday Valentine's weekend group ski trip. We in Colorado, Breckenridge. And I'm the only person out of the crew that can ski. You know, just look at the color, no surprise, right? But I'm out there. So the rest of the group is in lessons. I try to do the right thing. I try to do the right thing. I tell Big Shirley, I'll take the lesson again with you. The instructor say, nah, you're gonna be bored here. Go get your money's worth. I say, bet. So for 3.5 hours, I'm flying all over probably a quarter of the mountain. I get to probably 30 minutes left on my lift ticket. You know the lift tickets, you get the half a day or you get the full day. I got the half day. I say I'm gonna go to the top, ski back down, give me the straightest route. Let's have some fun. So I take the chair to the top. I'm coming down, but I realize I'm so high up that if I pick the wrong slope to go down, I'm going to end up at the wrong peak. And each peak is about a 15, 20-minute walk from each other, you know what I'm saying, at the minimum. So I need to make sure I take the right route down to, you know what I'm saying, the fan. So I come down a short blue. As I'm stopping to pick which direction I'm going to go, I start falling over. Slow motion, like the movies. You ever fall off your bike? You know how it happened real slow? That's how it went for me. I stick my arm out to catch my fall because I felt I'm falling slow. And if you play the sport, if you're an athlete, you know trying to break your fall is the number one mistake. So instead of my arm going this way, it goes this way. Boom. I fall so softly that people are just skiing past me. They just flying down and looking at me. Oh, he can't ski. Look at his color, you know. I flag down some help. He say, are you okay? I say, no, I need some help, man. I think I dislocated my shoulder. Can you pop it out? He says, oh no, I gotta call ski patrol. I say, all right. Ski patrol get there. I tell them, look, pop my shoulder out. Just pop it back in. I can make it down. Ski patrol says, what's your name, buddy? Just calm down. I said,
Oh, man.
he's like, listen, Tim, I'm going to check you out. I'm going to make sure you're all right. All right. Is that okay? I'm like, I just need to pop back in place.
My man asked for consent first.
Bro, I'm like, are you experiencing concussion symptoms? I need to check your spine alignment. He's doing all this nonsense. I'm like, listen, I just need my shoulder pop back in place. The whole time the bone is sticking out my bicep. Not out completely, but there's a lump. And he's like, I got you covered. Don't worry. I'm calling a medic. I'm thinking the medic gonna come take me down. Bro, the medic comes out of nowhere with a stretcher/sled. All right. Listen, you ever seen a war movie where somebody gets shot and they gotta take them out in the chopper? But imagine that, but like built for snow. Like it's a sled. Now, so he's like, just get on here, lay down. I'll take you down. And I'm like, you got to go through all this? He's like, yes, sir. He wrapped me up, bro. Wrapped me up in a blanket. So I'm in the joint looking like maybe I'm paralyzed or something. Now people are looking. I'm going to shout out the white folk real quick, all right? Because y'all on a generational run. And y'all gained some more votes of confidence from me because not one person pulled out their phone. Not one person pulled out their phone. But so basically they ski me down, which was actually quite impressive that the guy could ski and hold a human, on a sled. He skied me all the way down. He went straight down a steep blue, because the one I was gonna hit. Ski me down, ski me straight to the ER. ER ran some x-rays, make sure it wasn't broken, popped it back in. While I'm in the ER, I realized it's a 12-year-old girl, same injury. Asian guy, same injury. Asian guy, he laughed. He's like, I'm going back out there tomorrow. I said, I'm gonna slow down. So I went snowmobiling the next day. But I mean, that's how it happened, man. I honestly took a really humble fall. But at this age, any fall is potentially, I'll be 40 this year. Any fall is potentially dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that happened, man. Took a little spill, popped out, popped it back in, and Mr. Miyagi style, I'm ready to go.
Man, somebody said, T, you realize it's the moment they've been waiting for. Any chance to use every piece of equipment is taken. That is a fact, bro. People in them positions, they can't wait to show off their skills, man. Put all that training to work.
Bro.
Man, the ski stories are always the wildest because, like, although you're in control when you're on skis, you're still on snow, borderline ice, you know what I'm saying, which just takes a certain level of control away from you. I remember one time I went on a big ski trip. It was like almost like an extracurricular activity kind of thing. And it was like all different age groups. My brother's friends were there. My friends was there, you know what I'm saying? And I was going down it wasn't even no crazy slope. Right? It was like, it might have been like a Black Diamond, but it was, the Black Diamonds on the East Coast in the Maryland area, right? So nothing crazy. But my nut ass, mind you, I'm probably like 13, right? I went down the wrong side of the mountain. And if you know like how the mountains are, and like if you're familiar with Whitetail or Liberty, you got the one side that's just a straight slope, and the other side where they got like these things called moguls and these things and these like small little jumps and these little ramps. And bruh, I lie to you now, I went down the wrong side and I knew I messed up instantly. But I'm like, it's all good. I'll just go ski around these jumps. And literally out of nowhere, I see this wooded area. And in front of the wooded area is a cool little slope, a cool little ramp. And I'm like, dog, it's no avoiding it. And I could have done what you did. I could have tried to fall. But I'm like, bro, man, I was in too deep, man. I had to just ride out this slope, this ramp. I go on the ramp. I'm at this point, I'm hitting full speed off the ramp. I fly into the air. I've never done no ramp at this point, ever. Like I can ski a little bit, but I'm not a ramp guy. I hit the ramp. I'm in the air, bruh. And I'm in the air for like what felt like 20 seconds. It probably was like 5 seconds. And I landed directly into this wooded area, trees, bushes. It was nasty, bruh. And like when I landed into the jump, one of my brother's friends saw me. And he was like, Oh, like he thought it was the coolest thing ever, bro. Because he's like, yo, I saw that. So you know, it's your little brother's friend. So I'm getting about the joint, trying to play it off like I ain't hurt, like I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? So I hop on out. He's like, you mean to do that? I'm like, yeah, you know. But dog, it was one of the scariest moments of my teenage years, bro. It's like the lack of control is just crazy, man. When you're on them slopes, even if you like know what you're doing a little bit, it's just. And anytime it can go left, man. So I'm happy to hear, T, that you all right, bro. You bounced back from the injury, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you was right back at it the next day. It's impressive.
Oh, I'm good. I had one of them similar moments. I'm riding the lift. You know, you riding the lift. You're just taking a look, right? I'm noticing that people are leaving the trail and cutting through the woods. And I see them come out on the other side. And I'm like, but it's not, it's a green slope, and it's like 10-year-olds, 20-year-olds, you know. I'm thinking, all right, when I get down here, I'm taking that path, right? And there's a little rope there to make sure you're not supposed to go in there. What I didn't recognize is, in them woods, you got to ski. There's, bro, each direction you reach out, you could touch a tree. Unless you stayed within the same path that everybody else was skiing. And you know, when you skiing, like for real, you can't do the little pizza to stop. You got to turn to stop.
Yeah. You got hockey stop, for real, bro.
Yeah.
No space to hockey stop. You just had to take it. So I'm
Pause.
light flashing before my eyes. I'm thinking like, bro, I don't know how many people, how I'm in the woods, how I hit a tree in the middle of the woods. Man, I make it out of there, and I'm like, yeah, that's enough. And that's the crazy part, because before that, I was going to hit a black diamond. But I was like, if I can't handle these little tree paths.
That be what separates, like, skiers from skiers. Is
Right.
like the change of direction, right? And that's, like, the one thing, that's the leg up I always had when I've been skiing, because in my teenage years, one of my first jobs, I worked as a lifeguard in the summer, but the same pool I worked at was an ice rink during the winter. So my winter job, I was working at the ice rink. And knowing how to ice skate is like so close to skiing. Obviously, skiing a little different, but if you can ice skate, man, you can ski a little bit. And like that's kind of what used to save me being able to change directions. But that's the one thing that separates the skiers from like the beginners, is that change of direction. Because if you're doing pizza and fries, you done. You cooked out there. You better stay on them greens.
It's over for you.
Right, man. All right, boy. Hey, happy to hear you good, bro. Yeah, man. Happy to hear you was able to, you know, enjoy the rest of your trip. But let's get into it, fellas. First topic for the night. And we got a couple of topics we want to touch on tonight. But first thing, we got to talk about this All-Star game, bro. Because underwhelming numbers, right? I think I saw something that said this was the year before last. I don't think the ratings have come out officially yet, but I know the year before last was the worst ratings the All-Star game had ever had. And last year they went back to the East-West format, and it was the second worst ratings they'd ever had. So this year they switched it up. They had the international team, the old head, the OG team, the Young Gunners team, and then they had the Rising Stars team. And they put them all together, basically made them play some little tournament style thing. I ain't gonna hold y'all, bro. I watched very, very little of it. I peeked at it for a minute. I did check out the other festivities, the dunk contest. I watched a little bit of 3-point, but the All-Star game didn't pique my interest, man. So first question I got for us tonight, fellas, and I want y'all to chime in the comments. I want to see what y'all think. Maybe y'all got a better idea for the NBA. But what is y'all suggestion to make the All-Star game great again? You know, as G would say, make it great again, G. Make the All-Star game great again, man. What could we do to do this? Because at the end of the day, man, the All-Star game will be a thing of the past. At least the NBA All-Star game will be a thing of the past if they do not make some wholesale changes. Rome, starting with you, bro.
So, man, you said the NBA All-Star game. You better put all pro sports All-Star games on notice. When was the last time you checked out the Pro Bowl? They trying to save it with flag football, but I don't know if it's working. But as far as the NBA specifically, bro, I didn't tune in at all. I honestly, outside of like social media and like celebrities posting about being an All-Star weekend, I would not have even known it was All-Star weekend. Like I was that unhip to any All-Star festivities, where in years past, I couldn't wait for the All-Star weekend, couldn't wait for the 3-point contest, the dunk contest. Like If I'm being honest, bro, the NBA has a serious problem, and the All-Star game is probably the easiest thing to point out. But there's no real competitiveness. Like these dudes don't compete night in and night out when it's time to actually win a game because it's the regular season and you need wins. They damn sure not competing in no uh, All-Star game, cherry event type vibe. Like, so it's just it's not good basketball. It's not entertaining. I was done with the NBA All-Star game when they were scoring 200 points and nobody's playing defense, and like it's been trash for a very long time. The only way to save it is for the players to care. Like they don't really care that much, I feel like. So if it's hard for, like you said, Bryce, it didn't pique your interest. It's hard for a fan to get invested into something if the people doing it don't have passion to do it.
No, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact, bro. And I think, you reminded me of a quote I saw from Kevin Durant from the weekend. Kevin Durant was asked about the All-Star game, and I'm gonna kind of summarize what he said because I can't remember it word for word. But he basically said, like, this game isn't about competitors. This weekend's not about being competitive. This weekend is about us as NBA family getting together and celebrating each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the whole vibe of it has changed. It's no longer about like, let's get out here and showcase who's the best. It's more like, let's get out here and enjoy time with each other while we have it. You know what I'm saying? Why
Bro, that is Thanksgiving. Like the fuck.
Right? Right. Why it's gotten to that, I don't know, but I'm hoping that with our answers here, we can offer some suggestions that could be helpful. G, what you think, man? What would you do if you could make some wholesale changes to the All-Star game? What would you do to make it a bit more competitive?
Well, have a pay rate different. Winners get more of the pot. Losers get, well, I would say like 1/10 of the pot. And on top of it, these guys are obligated to go because unless you're like injured, you can't go to the All-Star game. I was into a podcast. They were saying like, it's in their contract. If you're selected, you must play already, right? These guys are already getting paid. And then on top of that, like, why not just make it back to what it was, East versus West? Give us that. And this whole notion of, are we going to talk about one-on-ones now or later? Because I think that's utter bullshit.
No, we're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to that later.
I think that's utter bullshit. But when we get to that conversation, we'll talk about it. Even now, like, I hated this format because look, Wemby was about to start going off. He was blocking. He was actually blocking up shots. I was like, holy shit! Even with those like few defensive plays, I get it. Nobody wants to play full defense. Even sometimes we don't like watching full defensive games. We hate those 80 score games, 90 score games. Like, so I don't mind it when it's 200 as long as you're competitive the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and that's when it really matters to me. But if you're gonna score from first all the way until third, no fucks given, okay, I get it. Boom, it's cool. But just make it back East versus West. Give us, with the unis, do the unis matter to you, fellas?
Absolutely.
So would you do it back to players going back to their team jerseys?
So I liked it like that. I liked it when one team had on their white jerseys, the other team had on their away jerseys. That used to be fire.
But you get what I'm saying? You go.
They've had some dope East-West jerseys in certain years.
Yeah. So it depends. So we're like in a 50-50 where you can either wear your team's uniform or East versus West uniform. All right. So even then, even though like this format was so horrible, just looking at Wemby about to go off, I'm like, yo, Wemby about to have a game, and then you remember it's the first to 40. And I want to go in depth with this conversation too, fellas, because KG basically warned these players 2 weeks ago with the Jimmy Butler bullshit when he was like, yo, your guaranteed contracts, that shit's about to be a no thing in the future. Because the way you guys are trying to get away from teams, I think the NBA told these players when Luka got traded, like, yo, listen, like, we don't want to give you this max dollars if you're not going to be out here playing these games. And also want to say with this is that last year during the draft, the NFL commissioner said, I want another week of football. And he's okay with extending it, the Super Bowl on that Sunday until President's Weekend. And you fellas know what day is that All-Star game? And I think that's also the reason why TNT didn't this is my conspiracy theory, but I don't want to drag this conversation for too long, but this is why I think TNT didn't bother to outbid Amazon. Not that they couldn't, is that they seen that the ratings aren't there. They seen that the NFL, the moment that the NFL made that announcement, our ratings are already low. Look at this year. I know we haven't talked about it yet, but the NBA rating has been fucking god awful.
Yeah.
The NFL already took away Thanksgiving. You were never gonna get that, and now they took away Christmas from you, and now they basically told you to your face, "We're coming for your All-Star weekend, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it." And
Nah, that's a fact,
we
though.
need these guys. Oh, we're gonna just give these guys this money. This is why I don't think I have a problem with the Pro Bowl being flag football, is because it's such a contact sport that I don't mind it. And then you see how the players play. They play with like they want to be there. And you hear when NFL players talk, they say, "I get paid a king's ransom to play the sport." When you hear the NBA players, they don't even speak like that. They speak like it's like you got to thank me for playing this game. When compared to NFL players, they're like giving you like, "Yo, I love this game." And this is why NFL, the football itself, will always be number one to our hearts. Because you see these guys play and you see what they go through, and it's only 17 weeks. So just these NBA players, KG tried to warn you, we're doing the bullshit of trying to force your way out. Your guaranteed contracts is not going to be there. The fucking Dallas Mavericks showed you, we don't need to pay you guys a max contract, and you're going to lose that on 100. What was it Luka lost at 170 something million? And now the NBA, the NFL is asking for another week during your All-Star weekend, and y'all don't want to play or at least show some enthusiasm for the fans. Because y'all saw I don't know if you guys were watching the game. Like, if you were seeing when the camera would go to the stands, it was pretty empty in that stadium.
Yo, and that G.
I'll let you guys go from there on.
No, that last point, you made some great points right there, first of all, bro. Good shit. But I think that last point really stands out to me, man, because like, and you know, any Commanders fans out there can relate, right? For years and years, while the Commanders were owned by Dan Snyder, when the Redskins were owned by Dan Snyder, you had people that were complaining, right? But it was like, as long as these people were complaining, they were still watching. And that means they cared. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people are complaining, they at least still care. But once people are no longer complaining, that's when shit is a problem, right? And I feel like low-key the NBA is getting to that point. Not the All-Star game, I feel like it's at that point literally right now where like people done complaining, they just don't care no more. So if I don't even care enough to complain, y'all completely lost me. Now, hopefully, the NBA gets to the point where people are done complaining about the competitiveness in the regular season and they just stop caring about it altogether, then that's going to be big trouble for the league. And you see Adam Silver trying to put these things in like the in-season tournament, right? That's to get people to care and to talk about it. Even if they're complaining about it, it's like that old saying, any news is good news, right? Or any
publicity is good publicity.
Any publicity is good publicity, right? Because at least they discussing the shit. But at this point, man, with the NBA, it's like it's getting into the scary hours, man.
Yeah, because that was my point, man. Like I didn't even like care to check out the All-Star game because to your point, like I don't even want to complain about it, bro. Like that shit's just whack. It's trash. And there is a larger conversation to be had about the NBA as a whole getting to that point. But I'm gonna go ahead and let T jump in.
Yeah, T, give us something that can make the game better, man. Like, is it anything, or is it too far gone?
All right, it's honestly too far gone. But I gave you some ideas online, and the WNBA implemented at least one of them, right? I told you, instead of having possession tie-up for jump balls, play one-on-one, man. Everybody wants to see who is the better. Like, we are in stan culture. Who's the better big? Who's the better guard? Who's the better rapper? Who's the better singer? Like, so people just want to know who's better. So one-on-one, instead of having a jump ball every possession, every jump ball or the end of the half, end of the quarter, whatever, two people got to play one-on-one. That team gets the ball. Quick game, first person scores, wins, no more than 5 dribbles. Another thing they need to do is implement everything. You know how the NFL every offseason has that part of the year where they float new rules to see how how we can change the game for better. And sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. Like the new kickoff rule stuck. The All-Star game is a perfect opportunity to try things and see how the fans, ultimately it's a fan product, right? See how the fans take to it. Add a 4-point line. He said like hockey. I told this to my son. I was like, if you get a technical foul, put somebody in the penalty box. Like let's add some creativity, some flavor to the All-Star game that you're not gonna get in a regular game of basketball, because at the end of the day, the All-Star game is a show. It's never really been about being competitive. You know, you'd have that one or two guys going for the scoring title, which was fun to watch. See, because that was going to get you the MVP if you scored the most. But they don't even care about that anymore. So just try some stuff. Try some stuff. That's all. 4-point line, 15-second shot clock, no free throws. Like just throw random stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? So
I like that.
But realistically, though, what killed the All-Star game is what killed a lot of the things that, if you're a millennial, like an older millennial, a lot of things that you loved. Social media. Social media absolutely killed hip-hop culture. It's killed politics. You know what I'm saying? The political environment, the culture of that. And it's killed the NBA as a product. And the All-Star game is just a symptom of a bigger issue. Once upon a time, as a young NBA fan, I got to watch my local market and a few primetime games. And if you still find a way to watch by streaming or TV, for the most part, you're watching local market primetime games. So they didn't change that formula. They didn't adapt at all. But what social media did was gave me and kids the ability to watch your favorite player without having to watch the game. I can see all the Melo's plays. Charlotte, small market, you probably never see him, but I can watch all the Melo's highlights. My favorite player from college that plays 7 minutes a game. There's some content creator out there that made a clip of every possession he had in the season. Some random guy, you know what I'm saying? What's your man name? Like a Kispert, a random player like a Kispert. Some random content creator has created a reel where you can watch every 3-pointer Kispert's ever made. You know what I'm saying? So like having to stick there and watch TV and watch a full 2-3 hour game, for what? For what?
Yeah, I see what you're getting at. Definitely a microwave society that we in.
To your point too, T, I don't think the NBA has adapted well enough to streaming. And like, so like example, like with the NFL, when they went to Prime and they did all the Thursday night video, like I can watch all that on my phone. Like I can be at work, I can still be out. I can catch whatever primetime game, whatever game I want via their app. And the NBA hasn't really, made something that's cheap and affordable, because I don't think I'm paying like $10-15 for the NFL Joan. I watch the 49ers games, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if the NBA could get something like that that's really simple and affordable for people to just stream, then you might get the youth to actually watch a little bit more games. But to your point, with a sport like basketball, it is almost more convenient to just watch whoever on TikTok make a quick little clip of my favorite player hitting all the threes. But then I think that kills the game. You learn nothing about the game watching, somebody like me hype up my favorite player. That doesn't help you become a better player or a more informed fan in any way. So it's definitely killing the game. And to the question in the comments, is the NBA getting soft? I don't think the NBA is getting soft. I think the NBA is already soft.
Yeah, and I think the softness is like, it can also be framed a different way. It's like, is the NBA competitive? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest problem. Like, I feel like some of the solutions T laid out, I think could work, could legitimately drive some eyes, right? But I don't care what you do to the All-Star game. If like nobody in the game is trying, I'm not gonna want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could put in all the cool rules you want, but if I look in it and the 10 dudes on the court don't give a damn about what's going on, like I'm not really gonna be interested in watching. It's basically like the same thing that happened to the game is what happened to the dunk contest, right? Like eventually, like with LeBron not playing this year, almost signifies something to me. Like imagine if players just be like, I'm not even playing in the game. You feel me? Like it might really get to that. And I think that's the bigger issue, is that like there's no competitiveness to it. And like I thought they tried to bring some competitiveness to it by having these 4 teams. I just thought it was not very well thought out. But I think if you just go 2 teams, you go everybody over 30 versus everybody under 30. Before the season, you get one of the young dudes like an Ant Edwards, one of the cocky young dudes. You get like an Ant Edwards to contrive some little fake beef with him and KD. They should have kept that him and KD beef going, right?
Bro, but Anthony Edwards didn't play, and KD only played like 3 minutes.
No, but what I'm saying is last year, KD and Ant Edwards had a little baby beef going, right? Where KD, it wasn't like a beef, but, he was saying like, yeah, I used to be my favorite player, but basically I'm going to shit on him every time we play, right? And it's like, that is the type of thing that could make the game competitive. Like if the old dudes like a LeBron, KD, the old guard, you know what I'm saying? Steph Curry, right? The guys that are basically was running the league for the last 10 years, 15 years, right? If they had to play the young dudes in a game, and we had to prove who the best players, who's running the league right now, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's enough to make this shit competitive for these dudes, right? Because like something got to be done to make it competitive for the players playing the game, and I feel like that's the number one issue. Because G made a good point earlier, right? Like the All-Star game was never a truly competitive game, but that last quarter, that last 8 minutes. Bama used to tie them shoes a little tighter. They used to tie the shoes a little tighter in them last 7 minutes, and now you don't even get that. So it's like, what could we do? And another thing, we live in this society now where everything is just so superficial, man. Like, you know how like the winner of the Walter Payton Man of the Year in the NFL, he gets that little emblem on his jersey. Hey, man, winner of the All-Star game, you get an emblem on your jersey. You get a star on your jersey, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, little things like this are what moves players these days, bro. Like recognition and admiration moves these dudes. So NBA's got to find some way to give that type of admiration and love to the players that are going to try hard in the game. And I think G said maybe some money could do it, but I think these dudes making so much bread. I don't even think $1 million on the line even gonna make the game that much more competitive, bro. I think they're gonna laugh.
I think to T's point, like I don't know. I think it's just already too far gone, bro. Like, I think the only way to really save the All-Star game is to fix the issue of the NBA players. Like, if you don't care if you get cooked in a regular season game, like if you're willing to sit out regular season games, not try that hard in regular season games, I'm only gonna play 15 minutes in a regular season game. Why the hell would I play more than 10 or 5 in an All-Star game? Why would I expose myself to get, embarrassed in an All-Star game? And that'll lead into the 1v1 conversation here in a second, because like as much as I as a fan would love to see that, and I know that there were some clips of players saying that they would be down to do it, I don't know that some of these millennial players are really going to put themselves at risk to get dunked on, to get crossed up, to get embarrassed, to be that viral clip that all of a sudden is going viral on X and TikTok because you got schooled by your co-worker or you know what I'm saying, whatever at the time. But like I don't know, man. The NBA is something different from when I grew up watching. Like with Kobe, you had dudes that were passionate about the game, that cared. And to me, this you can take the biggest shot at LeBron in this way. When Jordan was on top, people played hard. When Kobe was on top, he wasn't letting you not play hard. When LeBron was on top, everybody got soft. Pause.
Yeah, and that's a good point, man. Like, and I hate to put it all on like Bron or somebody, because I don't think it's all on him. I think it's more of a product of where we are as a society, for sure. I think T was getting at that a bit too, but it's like, man, something's got to be done. I like the point that you made, Rome, that how everybody's scared to get dunked on these days, right? It's just the society we live in. And honestly, right now, the only good product that the NBA has, in my opinion, is the playoffs, bro. And it's don't really start till the second round on, bro. I think the NCAA tournament NCAA tournament was a cool thing. The play-in was a cool thing, but all they got that's a good product right now is playoffs, and that's unfortunate, bro. Like, that's unfortunate. Hey, T, I can't hear T. Nah.
Yeah, he's still on mute.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate, man, because the NBA All-Star game used to be something that I look forward to as a youngster, bro.
I think we all have. It's just the fact that seeing these, it's like what Draymond said. I agree with his point where it's like, yo, why are these first and second years guys getting a chance to play when it's all about the All-Stars? But that's case in point, you got to blame these last few guys that have been playing. Like, they haven't been competitive enough. Like, you hear reports or you hear like podcasts during the All-Star game, like where the players only coming in like 5 to 20 minutes prior to the game and they're leaving. Not a lot of these guys are staying here to interact with the fans, which is sad.
Hey, y'all got me? Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Listen, the biggest difference between the NFL and the NBA and why the NFL is such a much better product, especially now, is the NFL is a franchise-first product. I don't care who's on what roster, you are supporting a franchise. You don't even have to watch a game. You want that team to win. The NBA is player-driven, and it's become more and more player-driven since the Magic and Celtics, not the Magic, the Lakers and Celtics rivalry, right? Jordan was the Bulls, and you had a couple fans from different teams, but for the most part, if you are an NBA fan, you are a fan of a player. You're going to learn somebody's favorite player before you learn what team they like. You're going to hear, I'm a Kobe fan. I was a Jordan fan, LeBron fan. That's the biggest issue. The players have.
So are you blaming the NBA's marketing? Because that marketing got the NBA to where it's at. The marketing individuals literally got them to where they at. So you think that's kind of the double-edged sword of the way they marketed themselves?
I agree completely. Because T hit the nail or hit the hammer with the nail or whatever, bro. Because that's on point. Like the NFL, you see fan bases like the Chiefs are a great example. Tyreek Hill on the Chiefs. Chiefs fans love Tyreek Hill. Goes to Miami, fuck Tyreek Hill. We're burning his jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how NFL fan bases treat things. If LeBron leaves Cleveland, I'm keeping my Cleveland LeBron jersey. I now have my Miami LeBron jersey to go with it. I got my Lakers LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how NBA fans operate, and it does have a lot to do with how they market it.
You know what? What's a good point to that is how the fan reaction. You just remind me of something wrong. The fan reaction to Luka leaving. Everybody was mad at the franchise, and don't get me wrong, Luka. It was no hate for Luka. Nobody was like, this dude don't work out. This dude, like none of the fans was on that type of time. All the fans is mad at the Mavericks for making the move, and
they lost followers on Instagram, bro. Crazy times.
Rightfully so, right? We'll see how the trade shakes out. But if it was the NFL and reports had come out that any player that got traded wasn't working out, came in 30 pounds overweight, gained 40 pounds over 4 weeks being injured, something like that, right? There would be hate for that player, not just the organization. See what you're getting at. Go ahead, T. Like you was about to chime in.
Yeah. So with the fan, I mean, with the players having so much power and them not competing in the All-Star game, like it's a dead product, right? And the players have so much money and so much leverage that you can't incentivize me to play hard. You just can't. Like it's a vacation. You telling me I need to work on my vacation. And the biggest thing too is there's literally no penalty. Like what's the ramifications of LeBron not playing?
Well, the long-term ramifications are going to be what we're talking about on this show right now. Like I didn't tune in for the first time in probably 2 decades. Like Bryce said he watched a very small amount. Like to be honest, I wanted to watch because I knew we were going to talk about it on the show, and I didn't even do my homework because that's how uninteresting the NBA has made my sports homework. So like that's going to be the ramification is that people are going to tune out. G made the point earlier. You're not even filling the stadium or the arena. Like what? Like come on.
Listen, and
the NBA tickets are expensive. Like all right, I'm gonna say case in point, right? Remember that Luka trade right before it? When it was the Lakers versus the Knicks, the Madison Square. You know how much nosebleeds were for Madison Square Garden? Y'all want to know? Because a couple more boys are Knicks fans, and I was hanging around with some Lakers fans, and they wanted to go. But we met up at my boy's crib. There's a Lakers fan. He's like, bro, nosebleeds $500. And you know the difference between them and the NFL? Also that we don't even talk about? NFL tickets are more affordable. Yeah. And people, the Giants are ass. The Jets are ass. And people are still making their ways to go see those games. Whatever team I don't know how it is in DC, but when the Knicks were garbage up here, tickets were still going up for $300.
The Knicks, the Lakers, the Celtics, maybe the Heat, a couple of those franchises are similar to the NFL franchises. But for the most, you don't care about the Bucks. You care about Giannis. You don't care about the Hornets. You care about LaMelo. And to the comment about it's about pride, bro, pride isn't really a thing in the NBA.
When you have a guaranteed max contract, pride is a dollar sign.
Well, you know, the one silver lining I would say is like the NBA clearly knows it has a problem, and they have been trying to address it. Whether we agree with the steps they've taken, people have laughed at the in-season tournament. That is a clear step to them trying to do something to address this issue, right? I think they've got to go. They've got to go nuclear, in my opinion, right? They've got to do something so drastic that like you get punished for being trash and you get punished for not trying. Like literally. Like I think back to like the Premier League and like how it is overseas in soccer, where if you finish last in the league, you get relegated to Liga B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I forgot about
these
that.
teams got to go to the G League. If you the last place team for 2 years in a row, you in the G League. Or if you in the in season tournament and like if you're the 8th team end up in the in season tournament, you got to get punished for that somehow. Like it's got to be some real punishments, man. Like that come along with like this lack of competitiveness, and it can't just be an in season tournament if the NBA wants to save their product, man. Like, and I get what you're saying. Like they're getting paid.
They should do that.
But I saw something else that was like. It's the fact that none of these dudes struggle no more. Every player is somebody's son. Every player already had a bag before they got in the league. Every player is already somebody. Now with NIL coming up, you already made it before you made it. Like, ain't no struggle no more, man. What they doing it for?
Well, yeah, the NBA is now full of kids. Not even the NBA. Let's break it down to its foundational level. The AAU system, as a coach, you are no longer able to just grab the kid off the street. And I've been saying this for a couple of years. AAU basketball now is about the families that have money, the parents that have the money that can pay for these teams and pay to travel and have the resources to get trainers and training and spend the time to train your kid like a pro before he becomes a pro. And you see the twins, right? I mean, and Azir, I don't know.
My man, you pulled a G to those names, boy. Damn, you sound like G.
But that's part of the NBA problem, right? Bro, you drafting guys that aren't ready. You drafting guys that aren't coming to the league and becoming superstars. Once upon a time when you was drafting 18, 19-year-olds, you was expecting them to go out there, start and produce. Like
Kobe didn't.
Kobe was expected to produce. He was
expected to, yeah.
Came off the bench and they got Eddie Jones out of there and let Kobe play the very next season.
But
Eddie Jones,
bro, you got to put context to this because they're expected to produce in how many years?
One.
So after year one.
Yeah, you were supposed to come in and ball, bro.
Came in the league, 18, 19. You were expected to go crazy. Kwame Brown didn't get no chance to develop.
None.
Jonathan Bender.
Because you get into another point, T, is because like a lot of the teams, I would probably say, if 30 teams in the league, 15 of them aren't really trying to win, right? They're trying to stockpile assets. And that's something else that needs to be punished in some way, man. Like there's not a lot of the competitive factor to this league is gone because everyone has discovered that the best way to get great as a team, right, is to get as many assets as possible. The only way to get as many assets as possible is to be trash and get top draft picks, right? So it's a real issue that they have, right? Now because like the NFL, and this the other thing, right? The NFL is a league of a lot of parity, right? Like for instance, I'm a Commanders fan. We went from being a 4-win team to a 12-win team the next season, bro. You're not going to see in the NBA where you have a team go from being a 15-win team to a 56-win team, bro. That's just not happening, bro. Like, unless I really couldn't even see it happening, bro. Unless like 5 superstars decided to team up. Like, and that's another part of the problem, bro, is the way things are in the NBA doesn't lend itself to competitiveness, yo. And then, like, until the NBA makes some real changes and punishes teams for being the way that they are, they tried, right? It's not that they haven't tried, not for lack of trying. Like, they changed the draft lottery. So it's not just the worst team gets the number one pick. Like, they trying to do little things, but it's not drastic enough. And Adam Silver, you got your work cut out for you. If you want to give me you want to hit me on Twitter, Adam Silver at BryceXXVII, I can give you some advice, man. I do this for a living, man. I consult for a living. You need some help, let me know. I'll get the NBA about the way I have them back on top.
I think I found a solution. It just hit me. I think Miami was headed to the right direction on how they were finding Jimmy. I think the league has to find a way to start doing that with the players. Like for conduct, for not trying to play, for sitting out, but they got to try to maneuver through this. Because not for nothing, the players union is pretty strong in the NBA. I want to say it's like what second to the MLB, where it's like they have a chokehold against the league at this point because the way their guaranteed contracts are constructed is like, oh, you get incentives now. So it's like they got to try to maneuver. I guess Yoko could talk about how the league now are rewarding players for not playing. You have to play certain amounts to be considered MVP. I think they tried everything so far, and it's not working.
It definitely ain't working, man. And let's parlay this into our next conversation, man. We're gonna piggyback off this All-Star Game convo, and we're gonna talk about the 1v1s, man. Shout out to the ladies, man, because the ladies are keeping basketball alive for me right now, bro. And honestly, I've never been more excited for a WNBA season, and it's got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. I know everybody trying to say Caitlin Clark driving all the attention to the league, but it's really got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark for me. It's got everything to do with my girl Aaliyah Edwards, who I was hard on the Mystics for drafting her over Angel Reese, especially seeing what Angel Reese became and how quick she became it. But the women are doing something that the men probably need to do, man, and that is this one-on-one tournament. What if y'all? First of all, before we get into talking about the women's one-on-one tourney, the men's one-on-one tourney. What have y'all thought about the unrivaled one-on-one tournament that's going down? Have y'all checked out any of these games? Have y'all seen how like the big girls got to go against the little girl, the shooters is going against the defenders? Like, what have y'all thought about this, and what's y'all's instant reaction? Because I think this shit is amazing, man. T, starting with you.
I've been championing one-on-one, especially for the women, for a while. So to see it just come to fruition and be successful, like I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. And the crazy thing is, I don't really think one-on-one translates well to the 5-on-5 under the whistle game. But what it does is NBA, power to the players, WNBA, power to the players, right? It creates names. Now you can Aaliyah Edwards, Aaliyah Boston, we don't know these women's players' names, but when you start winning some one-on-ones, when you start beating the names that people have heard, that limited number, you hear, I can't even remember, but basically once the lower players, quote unquote, start beating some of the bigger names, you open up some eyes, you gain some fans, and that's ultimately what basketball thrives on. Like I said earlier, like it's the players. So the more exposure to the players, the more storylines we get. I remember you said we needed like the off-season storylines for the WNBA. They gave you off-season storylines, but they gave you basketball.
Yeah,
right.
Brilliant. So what I'm saying, shout out to the WNBA. Just great, good marketing all around, and it does increase excitement for that next season. Because some of these girls, I didn't know they had. Like, I didn't know some of these girls had a bag like that. So
deep bags too. And shout out to Fee Collier. She did get the W over Aaliyah Edwards, and she won the first ever unrivaled 1v1 tournament. I also think Fee Collier is an owner of that unrivaled league. It's also a 3-on-3 league as well. So they got a 3-on-3 and a 1v1. And the 3-on-3 has been awesome to watch too. Dope idea. Dope all around, man. Shout out to them ladies for putting that together, and shout out to them. Shout out to it for being player owned as well, right? They're taking some of that power back from the structure. You got to love that. Rome, what's been your thoughts about the 1v1s on the ladies' side?
Hey man, I think it's great. Everything that T said, I would double down on that. Because to his point, like a lot of the women, their names, they're not household names, right? You got the Clayton Clarks, the Angel Reeses, you know what I'm saying, the people you see in the commercials and all that kind of stuff. But all these, like, I don't know how many people are familiar with Aaliyah Edwards, especially outside of this area. So to be able to showcase her, showcase the other women is a very important thing. But I think the biggest difference between the women and the men doing a 1v1 tournament is kind of what I was saying earlier. The men established names, like we'll start naming them here in a second. We're gonna know most of those names. Those are gonna be the people that have something, some cachet that they don't want to risk. They don't want to. I'm already Dame. I don't need to go out there and get embarrassed because I'm getting older and some of these dudes is younger than me now. Might be a little quicker. You know what I'm saying? I could keep my who I am, my mystique, without putting it on the line in a 1v1 game. Whereas the women, if I'm not known, it's less putting on the line. It's just a chance to get my name out there. So I feel like the women are going to be more willing to do something like this and take these types of chances. Whereas even if the NBA adapted this, I'm not truly convinced that we're getting the names that we all are going to name here in a second and that we would like to see. I think we would end up getting some of the lesser known NBA guys in the 1v1 tournament because of fear of embarrassment.
All right, I feel that, and that's a good possibility for sure, especially considering how they act in the All-Star game. The man who once famously called the WNBA the women's NBA. What have you thought about the women's 1v1?
You know why it was competitive, fellas? I stated it earlier, and I'll state it again. The incentives. I believe homegirl who won made double of what her salary would have been the next year or so. I think she won over over $250,000 compared to her regular salary, which is like at 100 and something. So I think essentially it worked out great for the WNBA, and on top of that, it's a sport that's kind of like trying to survive. Like it's hard to pay them, so like these girls are gonna ball out because who the fuck wants to go to play in Russia? Who the fuck wants to go travel? So these girls are gonna ball out right here and show the world, show them some, give us a preview of what's expected during the regular season to come. So I guess it worked out great for the women. Like it worked out perfectly fine. It's like what Rome alluded to. So when the season begins, like, yo, hey, you saw those highlights? Let's go check her out real quick. Oh shit! Oh, so you might not catch her that night, but you're gonna tune into whatever game is playing on whatever night you're trying to catch the game. So like, oh, okay, it gives you something to look forward to. So great. But for me, I think the incentives work out for the women. But
yeah, this is the best thing they could have done, man. This is like a soft preseason or like a remix version of a preseason. Like I think this is generating a good amount of hype for the WNBA. I'm excited for this season.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this season. I think this tournament was awesome, man. I watched a few of the games. I probably caught about at least four of those 1v1s, and I caught multiple of the 3v3s too. And they were all excited. So this brings us to the next question, right? And we had posed a little bit earlier. Obviously, during this All-Star weekend for the NBA, there was a lot of talk about this 1v1 situation in the Unrivaled League. And a lot of the reporters were asking the NBA players if they would be interested in doing a 1v1. Many of them said that they would be down. They would put their name in the hat. Players that are included in that list are James Harden. Kyrie Irving said he would do it. Giannis Antetokounmpo said he would do it. And Anthony Edwards as well. Who knows if they will be, men of their word, if the NBA actually brings something like this, put something like this together. We'll see. But they all said they would try it. So my question for you fellas is, you got your choice of one NBA player, superstar, bench warmer, whoever you think would win it. Who do you think wins it all in the 1v1 NBA tournament? We starting with you, man.
I don't think this is gonna happen because these fuck faces don't want to play an All-Star game. All of a sudden, I'm gonna believe 1-on-1, and then on top of that, you're gonna have to play position per position. You can't have fucking Wemby going against Kyrie Irving.
You got to,
man.
What the fuck are we? What the fuck?
That's the only way. That's the only way it's legit.
Man, if you're Wemby, you're just up there, one hand up, like And if you want to give him a shot, you let him go up, and then you smack that shit out the backboard. That shit, get the fuck out of here. Now let me get in. No, you gotta put regulations to this. It gotta be position versus position. I get it, yo. You're gonna want to watch it, but this ain't fucking 2K, fellas. You know, in my opinion, I think these guys just had to be machismo and say, "Yeah, I'm down with it," to look cool. Because who the fuck is gonna want to look like a punk and say, "Nah, I ain't trying to do that."
LeBron.
All right, well, give me.
You don't talk
Who do you
about
think
the
will win?
like that.
Who do you think will win, G? If you had to pick one,
I'm gonna say Wemby, because who the fuck is gonna guard a 7'5"?
Yeah, when we start
fucking
pulling up,
guy
bro, I
like
don't
a
know what you're
super
doing.
3-point line.
Yeah.
all right. So G got
Kyrie trying to
Wemby.
guard that shit.
All right, G got Wemby. Wrong. Who you got, man?
I really didn't want to say Wemby, bro, because that's not who I want to pick, bro. Like, man.
You
I don't know, man. Bro, that's tough. That's tough. I wanted to say Dame originally, but it's too many young niggas now. And if we not having no regulations, then that makes it crazy, bro. Like,
Bro, it's Wemby 7'5", guarding wherever you got. fuck it. He'll let you shoot from the 3-point line. And he's probably still gonna manage to block that
Bro,
shit.
y'all be acting like Wemby. I've seen Wemby, a lot of Wemby games, bro. Wemby's not all that strong, man.
hey, y'all niggas on this show, y'all on this show told me Wemby was gonna be that dude though.
Yeah, but
Eventually, not at 20 years old though, or 22.
1-on-1 is not 5-on-5. And while Wemby is extremely dominant at 5-on-5, he would struggle in 1-on-1 versus a lot of players because how is he gonna put the ball on the floor against some of these guys that are just stronger than him?
Yeah.
Because he's not quicker than some of the guys that are 6'8", 6'9". Like, he's absolutely not quicker. And they have enough length to maybe not block his jump shots, but disrupt them. And it's not like Wemby is Steph.
It's checker, right? Like, you give him space to check the ball, right?
I can walk the ball to you on the checkup and stick
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Boom. Now, put the ball on the floor and make a play.
I'm gonna just shoot it. What's he gonna push my chest? Pause.
Like I tell my kids when I coach them, if you 1-on-1 with a defender and you have to take a jump shot, you lost that possession. Even if you made the shot, the defender forced you to take the hardest shot possible.
Then I'm taking Jokic then, because who's backing down Jokic?
All right, man. You change it. You can't change it. You already took Wemby, bro. Rome, who you taking, man?
Man, fuck. I don't want to take Joker either, bro. I want to take somebody for the fucking culture, bro. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Ja, man. I'm gonna go with Ja. Because I think in a one-on-one situation, it's gonna come down to who's got a dog in him, to be honest. And I think he's got the dog in him. I don't think he's gonna back down from. If we're talking no parameters, anybody you could pick the 5-on-1. I'm gonna have to go with Ja.
He got my neighbor's Chihuahua dogging him with a Glock.
Which already fits the 1-on-1 type of style.
All right. T, who you got, man?
I mean, I got somebody that's gonna come as a surprise. Like a lot of people's favorite players are not the best 1-on-1 players. They get beat at practice. Some of the ones that do win at practice a lot, the KDs, the Kyries, yada yada yada. But I've seen enough 1-on-1 to know it come down to size, skill combo, and dog. And that's why the person I would take to win a 1-on-1 in Thai NBA, I'm taking Paolo. I'm bigger than most guys. I'm bigger than the little guys. I'm quicker than the big guys. I can shoot it. I can put the ball on the floor, and I can go get a stop. I'm picking somebody that can, in baseball, what they call it, a 5-tool player or something. That's the equivalent of a 5-tool guy in basketball.
I don't hate that pick, bro. That's an outside the box pick, and I think
Hold on, Powell, the guy from the Magics, right?
Yeah, Banchero. Yeah, that's
Did
an
he play
outside
All-Star weekend?
pick. I like that. He was. I think he was a fan vote, but I like that pick though, because I think that he's got and watching the unrivaled 1v1 definitely cleared it up for me, like what type of player wins it, right? Because Aaliyah Edwards was in the chip and she was playing Fee Collier. Fee Collier is definitely one of those 5 tools, and I would say even Aaliyah Edwards, although she's young, you're talking about 6'3", can put the ball on the floor, can back you down, can also shoot. Another one of those 5 tools, man. So the guys I'm going with, I like KD. My guy, Spiritual Alchemist, went with KD, and I think that's a good choice. But I'm gonna go with some younger legs than KD because I think like you need the younger legs for the defensive side of the basketball. And Paolo Banchero, I think, would struggle with the shooting a bit if you force him to shoot jumpers all day. So T, I'm going with your guy, T. I'm going with Jason Tatum, man. I think Tatum. I can see Tatum winning the one-on-one battle, and it wouldn't. I don't think he's the best player in the league, but if we talking about straight one-on-one, I mean, you talking about 6'10", can move, got every isolation move in the book. His biggest problem would probably be defending, but I think he got just enough dog in him that he would compete on that end and might be able to get 1 or 2 stops. That's who I'm going with. I'm gonna go with Tatum, man, for that 1v1 tournament. But I think it would be lit, bro. And NBA
I feel like
do it.
I feel like Tatum lacks a little bit. I was thinking Tatum too, bro, but I feel like he lacks that dog a little bit for a 1v1. Because bro, you really gotta be a dog in a 1v1. There's no passing, there's no help on defense. Like it's just you, bro. So you gotta have that like top tier confidence.
So we all fucked up then. So it would have been Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I don't know if he can shoot good enough. You gotta be able to shoot, and you gotta be able to get
sporadic.
Yeah, I don't think Jimmy can score.
That story
in the NBA, you gonna have to be
against
long,
that Timberwolves.
Pause, but you're gonna have to be long enough to defend the rim and get a couple fluke defensive stops. You know what I'm saying? A couple blocks blocks from behind, a couple it's gonna take a couple fluke defensive stops to get it done. I feel like when you're talking about 6'9" guys going against 6'10" guys, or I couldn't see like a 6'3" dude winning it. But if there was a 6'3" dude to win it or shorter, Kyrie would be my choice. All right, because Kyrie, especially if it's make it take it, bro, you might not get the ball back messing with Kyrie. All right. So they gotta do it at this point, bro. I'm sorry. It just gotta happen.
You know for sure who's not gonna win it? It won't be Paul George, and the damn sure won't be Embiid.
No,
they probably won't play.
Exactly. Embiid back and Paul George getting cooked.
One-on-one gives you a legit chance to showcase the player you are, right? The NBA, if you're not a superstar, you are the player the team wants you to be. I don't know if y'all saw the Cam Reddish one-on-ones.
Oh, you be cooking.
Cam Reddish looked like he should be an NBA starter, all-star right now playing one-on-one. And that's another thing that one-on-ones will showcase. Just how talented the bums are. The guys 5-10 minutes that you think you could walk into LA Fitness and run and keep up with them. Like, no, man. Like, one-on-one is a different beast. The NBA is full of killers. You have to be a killer to get to the NBA. And it's just a different game. I don't think
Kyrie... Or Giannis' brother.
Who?
Or Giannis' brother.
Giannis' brother's a killer, too. To an average man.
Right.
Yeah.
Scalabrine telling people. Scalabrine told people.
The fact you said that with a straight face. Oh my God.
That is insane. That's a little insane.
Scalabrine told them people, I am closer to LeBron than you are to me. And he was absolutely right.
Yeah, no, I remember one time, man, I played a pickup game. Like this, and this is the thing that people don't be realizing, bro. Like people think they nice at basketball, bro. If you're not a pro, you're really not. You're not one of the best players. You're just not that nice. I remember I was in a pickup game with a G leaguer, bro, an NBA G leaguer, bro. When I tell you, my man was cooking everybody, bro. He was shooting 6 feet behind the 3-point line, cashing them joints without even thinking, without even jumping. Sometimes he was barely even trying, bro.
Oh, he was Ben Simmons in a LA gym.
Bro, he was cooking. He was cooking, man. It was during my college days. And it was during my college days when I was nice, bro. Like, I thought I was nice. But, you realize, bro, it's levels. It's levels, and that's like with anything that's a profession. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody just come into your profession and be better than you at it, right? Like, I don't care what you do, right? They're not going to come in and be better than you. They can watch you do it. They can think it's easy, but it's your profession, and you know it better than them. And I think that's what people don't be realizing.
Bro.
But let's go ahead, T.
Now, listen, just a quick story. During COVID, they shut the gyms down. Everybody's talking crazy from this area, big basketball area, former D1s, D2s, current overseas, talking crazy to Quinn Cook.
And that's my dog. That's my dog right there. Quinn, that's my boy.
And Quinn Cook is like, man, I don't really want to play, yada, yada, yada. They like you scared. You won't play in the men's leagues, da, 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 da.
The dude from Duke, right?
Duke, NBA, Warriors, yeah.
Warriors, championship. I just seen Quinn Cook in my at tape.
No, I remember Quinn Cook more for Duke. Not too much about the NBA career, but I digress.
Right. So what that tell you? And Quinn Cook is probably 6 feet,
nice.
Probably 6 feet even. He's not a big guy. My man come play in the men's league, drop a cool 50, not even trying, and then and leave. Like just a
he walks away. God damn.
Cool.
Not even trying, bro.
Not even trying. Like those guys could go to a high level men's league and score 80. You know what I'm saying? No problem.
And one
I think the
go ahead, bro.
I think the biggest thing with people that don't realize how like different it is for an NBA player compared to somebody who's, you know, nice at the gym is the speed of an NBA game, bro. Like if you're a bench warmer in the NBA, but you play 5-10 minutes, that 5 to 10 minutes is faster than anything we're going to see in our life, bro. Like you probably see more basketball in that 5 to 10 than we're seeing in a local gym. Because guess what? Pablo ain't moving that fucking fast, bro. Like all these other dudes you playing with in the gym, they not hitting it like that. And we all know, bro, when you play pickup, every so often you got a couple scragglers, like somebody just there to even out the teams and shit. Like they could just play D or whatever, but like it's nothing like no fucking G League. No, anybody that's trying to go pro, playing D1, all that shit, that is a whole nother intensity level.
Fellas.
Yeah, bro, and, you know, just to talk about Quinn real quick, bro. I think another thing people don't be realizing, and I grew up with Quinn. Like growing up, him and my brother was best friends, right? And one thing people don't realize is the level of dedication it really takes to make it to a certain level, bro. Like when you see somebody playing point guard for Duke, bro, that shit is not an accident, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about like someone like Quinn Cook was really fully dedicated to basketball from the age of like 5 years old. And it wasn't like just his folks making sure he's dedicated. I'm talking about like him at 7 years old, 8 years old was like, I'm going to the NBA, I'm gonna play for the Lakers. Like, and was really about that, like every single day, bro. Like, it's unbelievable to even see that type of dedication at that early of an age. And when you were a kid, you don't even realize, you don't even like as a kid, me speaking, like, and I grew and I know a couple like a couple dudes that made it to the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Played on teams with a couple dudes that made it to the NBA. And like you don't even realize how different level of dedicated they are from you at the time. Because you think you on that same level, because at that time y'all got the same around the same level of physicality, you know what I'm saying? But you don't even realize how different level of dedication they are. It's crazy, bro. So shout out to those shout out to the DMV, man, for the amount of players that we produce, man. I played hockey amateur leagues, a D3 player joined my team. 5 goals a game was the over under. Right. That's how it be. That's how it be, man. It's like it's a different level, bro. And that's a perfect example. That's D3 playing in that amateur league. Like it's just it go to show
5 goals is crazy, bro.
It's definitely a difference. There's absolutely a difference. All right, well, hey, let's keep it pushing from this topic. Good topic there. Last topic for the night. Well, actually, no, we might get into one more. But next topic is I saved this one for Roman T, man. I know they had it. It wasn't just Valentine's Day this weekend. For Roman T, it was a whole nother holiday. And for a lot of you other fans out there, it was a whole nother holiday, man. Because that boy Drake dropped. Drake and Party dropped that work. So we got to have a quick album review. We got to talk about it, man. Honestly, I'll start on this one. Honestly, I thought this was a solid album, bro. Like I am thoroughly enjoying, I would say, over half of it. There are some songs where I'm not really vibing with, you know what I'm saying? It's a few on there that's like, all right, you know, it kind of feels like filler. But that old Drake, when Drake rapping, like, man, that boy different when he rapping, man. I will say this, though. My man's cultural appropriation knows no bounds, bro. Cause he on a song rapping Spanish words in a Jamaican accent. I said you can't make this shit up, man. My man he different with the appropriation, but outside of that, yeah, we do like Drake over here. And I've said it before, like I'm a bigger throughout history, I've been a much bigger Drake fan than I am a Kendrick fan, right? I got way more Drake songs favored in my library than I do Kendrick songs. And I feel like a lot of this album was Drake getting back to that old Drake, that Drake we used to rock with, man. He getting back to that hit making. Like he said, he back to doing it for the party, doing it for the ladies. And I can respect that, man. So T, I gotta start with you, man. What's your thoughts on this album? Some sexy songs for you is a crazy album title, but because I feel like these sexy songs were literally for you, T, and literally for you, Rome. So what the fuck on these sexy songs that were made specifically for you,
man.
Go ahead, T.
Listen, man, I'm a big time Party fan. He hasn't made a project that I don't like. So I will say, from the Party Next Door standpoint, I was a little bit disappointed from the Party standpoint.
Yeah. But
from Drizzy in his bag the entire time. He showcased like my favorite Drake is the petty Drake, the talking sideways to these other rappers Drake, just real life scenarios with women that some of these other guys just never going to understand. You know what I'm saying? So some of the hate. I understand some of the hate. Some of these guys are never going to know what it's like to be the man in a room full of women. It just, you know what I'm saying? He never had that. So
they go act like you talking crazy, T, because they don't get it.
But I'm not, right? And typically our favorite rappers are our favorite rappers because on some level we relate to them. You know what I'm saying? This new generation, I don't know. It's the men are barbs now about Kendrick and Drake. The music don't matter. All they care about is the numbers and going back and forth on the internet. But from an album standpoint, bro, this joint's a solid 4 out of 5, 8.5 out of 10. Like replay value. 21 songs, way too long. But it's a good 13, 14 joints that I just can't get enough of. I can't even figure out.
Like 16, 17, bro.
Bro, it's a lot.
That man, Ro, Craig, 16, 17, you can't get enough. These songs really were for you, Ro.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I felt that way, bro. They dropped it at the perfect time, Valentine's Day weekend. That's why I didn't watch the All-Star game. I'm out here listening to Drake, enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, bro, Give Me a Hug went crazy. You want to talk about old Drake in his bag? That beat switch, rap Drake. I'm singing, the beat switches, I'm rapping. Undefeatable, bro. Undefeatable. Can't fuck with that.
I never been to Where My Hug At dude myself, but that's the Where My Hug At dude anthem right there. All right.
And Drake is definitely a Where My Hug At looking ass nigga, dog. That shit fit perfect, bro. The Nokia joint, I should go crazy. But my favorite part of the album ain't even the rapping. It's the R&B, bro. Celibacy is a wild song, bro. That is top tier. And there was a couple other joints. The Spider-Man, Superman joint is all right. Somebody Loves Me, I think was the name of one of them joints. That was crazy. I really think Drake got in his R&B bag, and I think that was the most impressive part about this album. But to T's point, man, I gotta say, this feels like a Drake album featuring Party and not like a collab album.
Yeah. I felt T with that, bro. Because Party, my God, too, man. I felt like, I don't know, bro. It didn't do it for me on the Party side of things. But
I feel like Party kind of just got out his way a little bit. Like let my man get off his bag, and I respect that, especially coming out of the beef. You know what I'm saying? Drake got to showcase why Drake is Drake. You know what I'm saying? I seen something online, and it's right. And I don't know whether it holds much weight to people or not, but Drake could make boom bap Kendrick music, conscious rap if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Drake is like
that was Scary Hours for All the Dogs, bro. He gave you some of that.
That wasn't no goddamn boom bap conscious music, bro.
It was conscious. It was definitely conscious, bro. The shoe fits. It wasn't boom bap.
Man. But
It wasn't boom bap, bro, but it was definitely conscious. Drake is giving plenty of conscious shit, bro.
That's the thing about Drake is that Drake can literally, and this is why people are questioning the man from an identity standpoint because he can literally make anything, and he dives into these bags that aren't him. Like somebody said the Meet Your Padre joint is hilarious. Yes, that joint is hilariously bad. That's the worst song on there, bro. Bro, why is your man rapping in Spanish in a Jamaican accent, bro? That's cultural appropriation at its finest, bro.
Hey, listen, hold on.
I ain't never heard nothing like that,
bro. Has anybody watched Naruto?
I've seen some of it. Yeah.
Who was one of the most powerful ninjas in the Hidden Leaf? Kakashi Sensei. Copy ninja. That's Drake, bro. Drake can get in your bag and do your bag just as good as you. And
he's like the Mystique of the rap game.
Yeah.
He's ditto.
Let me turn into you, and then I'll turn into you, Spanish guy. Afrobeats, I can do that. Conscious.
And he did that shit with the rap radar joint too. Combination.
At some point, it's like people look at that like he's not like us, and that's where that whole song came from. That's what gives that song validation to begin with, bro. Like as much as I'm a huge Drake fan, bro. But it's like to be a fan of Drake is to really be a fan of nothing or everything. And I think that's what people are starting to realize. Like, okay, if you're a fan of Drake, you are literally a fan of everything. Because you just told me he's the guy that can do it all.
That's crazy, bro.
I'm just saying, bro.
Not fair because I do feel like Drake may not rap conscious rap. I don't even know how conscious rap became popular because people are drinking Don Julio, eating Popeyes, and swearing by Kendrick. So I don't get it.
Right.
But Drake.
What you mean? It's black culture, Mexican culture combined. What you talking about?
Bro, and some of the people I've seen bumping not like us are literally not like us, bro. Like I don't know where this is going anymore.
What you mean? That's LA culture.
That's what rap.
Blacks
Wait.
and Latinos. You feel me? La raza, con mi gente, morena. You feel me? 1 and 1. Fried chicken and tequila. What are we talking about?
That Popeyes Don Julio collab is insanity. But that's
insane.
I thought that embodied everything California.
Drake just made that Don Julio fried chicken song. It might have been
basically, yeah.
Hey, the way Kendrick rap, you would think we passed that though.
It was more like jerk chicken than Don Julio.
and honestly, bro, to speak on the beef too, in my opinion, bro, Kendrick used this whole thing to boost his own status by dissing Drake. This album was a little bit more like his album Damn, where he has a little bit more like upbeat. Like it wasn't non-conscious, but it wasn't his typical bag. Like I feel like he went a little bit of a different route, screaming mustard. Like he went for the viral, the TikTok, the let me be popping right now while the iron's hot type thing. Which I think also says a lot about Drake and how he really is the top dog because Kendrick had the spotlight and he didn't come out there and rap about, you know what I'm saying, Trump being president or make a song about, you know what I'm saying, some real things that are going on. Like, no, he said, you're a pedophile and squabble up. Like, those were the routes that he chose to go at his biggest moment.
I can't agree with that.
So you're not going to talk about another man trying to say that your man's got your wife pregnant?
You know, the bars of GNX are a lot deeper than just like the hook that is squabble up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I feel you to a degree. He definitely leaned into his pop culture bag, pop music bag more than usual.
And it's not to say that he does, because Kendrick definitely gets deep in probably all those songs, if I'm being honest. But though you can just tell by the way that this album was presented, the beats, the videos, and the way that he's rolling it out. It's the look at my shiny chain. Now come let me educate you type of vibe or whatever. But I just feel like, at this point in Kendrick's career, it's kind of beneath him. Like he's a big enough artist to go his own route and not have to use this to get more attention.
I think Ron, I think you're right about that. Like
that's crazy because that's literally Drake's play for his entire career. But like that's cool for Drake to, be that guy that literally leaned into everything pop.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's cool, right? I'm gonna tell you why it's cool. Kendrick had to lean into that more pop bag to be that bigger artist. Drake and Beef just leaned into being more and more of who Drake is. He didn't change anything. He leaned more into it. Like my bag is even deeper. But I think Kendrick is obviously the better rapper, right? Drake is obviously the better artist. Like my man Lost and Fine, he said, give me B.O.B. B.O.B. is the better rapper. 2 Chainz is the better artist. Lupe is the better rapper. Little Dirk is the better artist. Like, you got to understand, like, music is not, if you're looking at basketball from the standpoint of technical skill, like, Kyrie would be the best player in the NBA, right? That's kind of like a Kendrick. But, like, that's not what this is. It's about reaching the masses, right? How you gonna tell me you better at my job than me, and I've made more money than you, I've done it longer than you, I've been a bigger star than you, I can sell out
That's
more.
facts.
But
Because let's be honest, the biggest musical artist in the country, in the world, is Taylor Swift. She is not even close to the best singer. Not even close, bro.
Right. So I think people got to stop trying to split hairs. Kendrick is the better rapper all day. Drake is the bigger artist all day, and that's okay.
That's the key. He's the bigger artist, or he was the bigger artist. But I don't know if we can say. I don't know if bigger automatically means better. Pause.
Hey, listen.
Like, you can't tell me just the bigger. You can't tell me just because he's the bigger artist, he sells more. Because guess what? Milli Vanilli had a hell of a run. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see some people reach crazy heights. It's just bigger artists. Like for instance, right? Your argument, people using your argument would say, like, yeah, Michael Jackson was the bigger artist, but Prince was the better. But a lot of people would be like, nah, Michael Jackson was bigger and better than Prince. You know what I'm saying? And that could very well be right. End of the day, I think it's subjective. It could. It definitely could, right? And I think a lot of these things are subjective, bro. And I think that's part of the problem Drake ran into.
It's not subjective. If I play 8 instruments and you play 1, I'm more musically inclined.
No, you're just better on instruments.
Right.
Like you are just better on instruments. Like, just because Drake can do Afro beats, boom bap rap, and an R&B song, doesn't mean you're a better artist, bro. You can just do those 3 things, right? And like, I'm not saying that Drake's not a better artist than Kendrick, right? I think he probably is the better artist. No, but my overall point is that all this shit is subjective, bro. And I think the problem that Drake ran into, bro, is subjectivity can be crafted once you have a machine. And Drake felt like his subjectivity that he was getting wasn't solely crafted by the machine. But yes, you were a great artist, bro. But still, 50% of this shit is still crafted by the machine. And don't you forget that, buddy. And that's what the machine is letting him know. Hey. Don't you forget that. And I think he still got a chance to come out the ashes on this. But we'll see.
The best singers in the world are large women that never make it out to church. You know why? Because being an artist, part of that is marketing. Part of that is being able to reach the masses. So I don't care how I want to split hairs. If I'm doing stuff that you can't do, you can't tell me you're better than me. You can tell me you're better than me in one avenue. You can tell me it's subjective, but
right. But now we've reached. But this is the problem. What you're saying, T. We've now reached a point where Kendrick beat Drake in what you are talking about. So he can say yes, he did, bro.
Oh.
And if you say he's not doing, if you say he's not beating him right now, and what you're describing as far as being bigger, right? Because right now Kendrick's wave, what he has done over the past 5 months is bigger than what Drake has done over the past 5 months. So now you're bringing your own subjectivity into it because you're not looking at where they're currently standing. Bro.
Drake just knocked him out the #1 spot when he dropped, bro. What do you like?
Nah, I don't think that. I think GNX still sold just as many albums as it's some sexy.
I don't talk about just album sales. That's for the geeks on the internet. I don't care about.
Okay, then when you say bigger artists, what you talking about?
Watch this. How many artists has Kendrick broke? Name one.
Hey, didn't homegirl that just I don't know how connected she is to Kendrick, but she on TDE.
Schoolboy Q. I mean,
no. These are label mates. They did Punch and TDE broke them. Kendrick did not break no SZA. All right, SZA is arguably a bigger artist than Kendrick. Period. Kendrick is a better rapper. SZA is bigger. If SZA did
I'm
the
saying so who you gonna tell me that Drake broke then? Because like I could say that the label broke that artist too. Like it's like we're getting into this.
Bro.
All right, then tell me who you about to say. I want to hear.
What label? When's the first time you heard Migos?
Bruh, I'm probably listening to Atlanta rap, so like it wasn't when Drake hopped on Versace.
To the masses, when's the first time you heard Migos?
It wasn't when Drake jumped on Versace.
Yeah, it was, bro. I'll put it to you like this, bro. I talked to a lot of white people, bro. They did not know who Migos were until Drake dropped on Versace, bro. And I understand where you coming from, bro, but they did not know.
We can't rewrite.
No. Y'all not about to sit here and tell me Drake made Fetty Wap, because Fetty Wap was something big already out here on this side.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, Fetty was already rocking.
So besides Amigo, but even then, Amigo was found by Gucci. I've heard Amigo first with Gucci.
Right, but they're gonna give the credit to Drake though. You know what I'm saying?
Gucci also found Nicki first too, but who presented her to the masses?
I'm just saying, bruh. No,
Versace was already like, big.
We talking about subjectivity at this point, bro.
Bro, it's no different than the Nicki thing, bro.
Nah, it's not, bro. It's not. Just because you were the biggest artist I got on my song to that point.
Drake has a hit in every single genre. He has an R&B hit. He has a pop hit. He has a Memphis hit. He has an Atlanta hit.
We're talking about right now. Right now in this very moment. Drake just dropped the album. That joint didn't do 500K week one.
Right now, it's projected to do like 250, which is
right. So like if Drake is this big guy, that joint's supposed to do 500K.
Hey, listen, the best song on the album is a Drake featuring Drake song. It's a Drake sounding song. It's a Drake produced sound. It's Drake. That just let me know, like, for as much as people want to scream and shout about they're over Drake and he needs to change the subject matter, bro, the best version of Drake is still Drake being Drake. No matter what genre he lends his ear to, the best song is still a song that sounds like Drake.
Right, but at the end of the day, bro, this shit about to do 250, bro. It's not about to do 500, right? It's not about to do they not like us numbers. So let's see now. What I will say is it's a collab album, so those can, break differently. If this was a Drake Future album that was breaking and they were still cool, this joint would have done 500 easy. So let's wait for the Drake solo joint to drop, right? And let's see if he's back to doing 500, 550 week one. And if that's the case, bro, he's come out the ashes. I do think there's a chance he can rise like a phoenix, but I'm not totally sure, bro. Not totally sure.
I just seen Drake sell out the United States. Period. Then he went to Australia, sold out Australia.
3 shows in London.
Listen, if Kendrick numbers, because y'all want to talk numbers, if Kendrick numbers are real, they're not inflated, Drake's not inflated, then when it's time to sell them concert tickets, then we can talk. Because
Kendrick been selling them joints out, bro.
Buddy, I went to Drake's concert and the nosebleeds, 400. That's
Did you go to Kendrick's? Because he's been selling them joints out.
Hold on.
He's been selling them joints out.
Who's Kendrick on tour with? Wasn't he on tour with SZA, who we just said is on par, if not a bigger artist? Drake did like 7 dates with J. Cole, who is not the same level, and then the rest of the tour was Drake. Like, he's selling that shit out.
You can't say that.
Solo.
You can't say J. Cole doesn't sell stadiums or nothing like that. J. Cole
like,
sells
not like fucking Drake.
He only did like 8 shows, 8 shows. He
didn't even do that many.
So, what I'm saying is, right now, where they're at, Kendrick might be bigger than Drake right now, and we'll see when it's all said and done.
Bro, I think in pure influence right now, Kendrick is bigger, and Kendrick should be bigger because, bro, Drake is Brady, bro. Drake is Mahomes. He's been winning for so long that people want to see him fail to the point where they're making arguments that don't even make sense anymore. Like,
maybe that's the case, bro. But like, he also got beat. You know what I'm saying? So
this is the thing, man.
I feel what you're saying, but there's also another layer to it.
Are you taking Jalen Hurts over Patrick Mahomes? No.
But I don't think Kendrick's Jalen Hurts in this argument. I don't even conflate those two arguments, bro. Like, so
it's different than sports in the sense of like
Jalen didn't beat Pat Mahomes, right? The Eagles defense won that joint. Like, Kendrick Lamar beat Drake, bro. And honestly, he washed them, bro. Like, if we being honest, bro. Like,
bro. So
any
let me
other opinion that besides that is subjectivity, and that's okay.
Nah, let me throw this out there then. So if the beef doesn't happen, right, and Not Like Us never drops, is Kendrick the bigger artist? Because like you needed Drake to become the bigger artist. Like you
But
could.
bro,
What I'm hearing is that he couldn't do this on his own.
Okay, but you're talking about Drake, who needed all these other, who had to steal. Y'all just told me he's Mystique of the rap game, so he had to steal everybody else's style to become. Well, T compared him to the warrior that steals Bama.
I wouldn't say that he stole everybody else's style
just to become who he was to begin with, bro. So don't tell me Kendrick brings up Drake.
So he had to collect the Infinity Stones, and now Kendrick is over here, you know what I'm saying, trying to correct the timeline.
Man, Drake, there's nobody worse, bro. If y'all know who XXXTentacion is?
Yeah.
All right, bro. Y'all know what Drake been on, bro. Like, there's nobody worse than taking styles, making it their own, and presenting it to you as something you never heard of. You know why? Because you might not have heard the person that did it first, but Drake did, and he just stole their shit, repackaged it, and gave it to you. And to me, that is still a talent, and that is still a skill, bro. That is still a talent. If someone can make something better than you could make it, that's still talent. But let's not act like he's not doing that off the backs of other creatives, bro.
Listen, at the end of the day, I don't care who's the #1 rapper. Like, Nas beat Jay-Z in a battle, and he's more conscious, which is everybody wants to be conscious now somehow. He's more conscious, more messaging in the Nas bag than Jay-Z. Jay-Z's still the bigger artist. Jay-Z's still more relatable. Jay-Z's still more, like, the forced love and the forced hate is crazy. Like who you like, love who you love. Listen to both guys. Bro, this new generation wants everything to be Pepsi Coke. Bro, it's okay to drink.
That's America for you, bro. That's not a new generation thing. That's
the true test to see who the bigger artist.
Red, man, that's always been America, bro. And I agree with you. You should be able to enjoy both artists, but you know, y'all are the ones that kind of started this argument here, right? And I'm just saying, if we're gonna have this, somebody said RC Cola.
RC Cola for the win.
Yo, I'm telling you, if you drinking RC Cola, they're gonna look at you like you crazy. Because why didn't you pick Pepsi or Coke? You know what I'm saying? That's the world we live in, right? But enjoy both artists. But if we're gonna have the debate, then we gotta have it full circle. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm a bigger Drake fan than I am a Kendrick fan. But I can still recognize the moment, what's going on in this very moment, and how the tide has shifted. Now, the question is, does Drake rise from the ashes like a phoenix? I think there's a chance, bro.
I think that's an exaggeration to even say, man. Like the truth is to see who a bigger artist is, you got to ask somebody outside of the community, someone who doesn't really listen to either one of them, right? Like I feel like people that don't really listen to hip hop, don't really listen to rap, they know Not Like Us. They might know some other Kendrick songs. Do they really know who can they point and say, oh, that's Kendrick Lamar? Like if they saw him in a grocery store, would they know who that is? Like they know who Drake is, bruh. Like One Dance, God's Plan. Like these are songs that resonate like in more than just the hip hop community. Whereas Kendrick has a handful of songs at best like that. Like I just feel like if you were to walk into a nursing home, you might find a few people that know Drake, have heard Drake, might say, oh, my grandson listens to Drake. I don't know if you find anybody that knows Kendrick by name.
But I don't disagree with you, bro. But we all.
So by that metric alone, how is he not the bigger artist?
No, you know what you're doing? You're refusing to live in the now. If I talk to you and be like, yo, hey, bro, D Wade was that guy, man. D Wade won 2 championships with the Heat. But if I bring up Anthony Edwards right now, bro, D Wade don't matter if we talk about right now, and that's the problem. Like, I get what you're saying.
I'm saying they don't know Kendrick. They know Not Like Us.
I don't disagree with you. They might not know Ant Edwards, right? But they might know D Wade. This is my point. Like, I agree with what you're saying. If we're talking about all-time career, bro, but we talking about the moment, bro. And right now, in this very moment, Kendrick's reach is a bit farther, and I think Drake gonna bounce back. I think it's a good chance, but it's yet to be seen, bro. It's yet to be seen. And this album, some sexy songs for Roman T. It didn't do it. It didn't do the 500 week 1, dog. It didn't do it, bro.
I'll tell you why. I don't think Drake ever gets back to that #1 artist. I don't think Kendrick will have it for that long, but I think Kendrick will have it maybe 2 years. But the problem is, bro, it's not about the senior citizen home. It's about the elementary school. And right now, the elementary school, and rightfully so, should not be a fan of Drake. You're not your favorite artists are not your parents' favorite artists, and that's
Yeah.
how it's always been. So if my favorite artist is Drake, for my son's favorite artist to be Drake would mean Drake is Michael Jackson, and
Right.
for all of Drake's
Nah,
greatness,
yeah.
for all of Drake's greatness, he's not Michael Jackson.
Fuck though.
He's not.
It's not one song on some sexy songs for you that my children need to bump to be honest.
And that's a problem. That's a problem, right? Because the youth are the influence, right? The youth are who carry the number ones and get on it.
And it's not even just youth that's like, you know, your son's age. It's really that's 18, 19, like those are the ones that shaping what. And if we being like, I always say this all the time, bro. Like I got the pleasure of being around like young people every now and again, right? Like I do couple, you know, I got a couple hobbies, extracurriculars. I do like flag football for one, right? I'm around the young generation, not a couple generations younger than me, right? If I'm early 30s, I'm around mid 20s, early 20s, some late teens. Every time I'm around these young dudes, bro, I ask them, hey, what y'all listening to? Because I'm able to recognize that me and my big age of 33, I don't always know what's hot because I'm not the one that decides what's hot no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I always ask, what are y'all listening to? I check it out, evaluate it for myself, and then I'm like, okay, this joint fire, this joint, you know, sometimes it's fire, sometimes it's not. But like that is the key, bro. And Drake was able to hold on to that age group for a long time, and it seems like he's losing grip of it in lieu of Kendrick gaining some of it. But you know who still got a hold of that group? The GOAT. My guy Future, man. My guy Future. The youngins still rocking with my boy Future, man. They still rocking with my boy, bro.
Yeah,
that's the real GOAT right there, yo.
But the problem is he gonna go down as like not a first.
He's Charles Barkley, bro.
Yeah.
He's Charles Barkley, bro. He's gonna go down as Charles Barkley, like or no. Here's a better one. He gonna go down as Dan Marino. We gonna say, man, that nigga was nicer than all them other niggas. He never really got his love though.
Nah,
that's what it's gonna be.
So Dirty Sprite 2 didn't matter.
Kendrick got his moment on a Future song, and then Future put out all this music, and we never heard it. We never heard it because of Kendrick. Like
Kendrick stole the whole moment.
I heard it.
My little cousin in college, he don't really even know too much about rap, but you know one thing he does know: Kendrick good, Drake bad. That's all he could tell me. Well, you know, Drake, and Kendrick. No, he don't got to relate to nothing. But when you get around your friends on campus, you agree with the masses. And right now,
yeah, Kendrick. What Kendrick did with his beef is he won the internet. Once everybody started making think pieces and TikToks going viral about this and that, and Drake was dating this 19-year-old girl at one time, and all of a sudden it all started looking too crazy, and people just started going one way. And to y'all's point, you got to pick Pepsi or Coke. Everybody's picking Coke.
Hey, go ahead, T.
It's time for Drake. It's honestly time for Drake to. I mean, he's not going to fade into irrelevancy. He was too big, right? But it's literally time for the next generation, and that's why I don't think Kendrick will be. Kendrick and Drake are close in age. They're very close in age. I think the next generation is going to be somebody after Kendrick. I don't think Kendrick will be able to relate to the next wave of college students, because now Kendrick will be 40.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting these next few years, see how it shakes out, man. I'm happy the beef seems like it might be dying down. I rock with the new Party Drake album. I think there's some bangers on there. I'm gonna be listening to it. So shout out to both of them brothers, man. And legendary moment for hip hop. That's one thing we can all agree on. Overall, I think I'm with you, T. I get that album about 4 out of 5, maybe even 4.5 out of 5. So it somewhere around that 4.3 range.
That Padre song, that's a hit, bro. That takes some points off.
That joint is awful, dog.
It doesn't even fit in the structure of where the album was. Like it was placed weird and everything.
Hey, listen, Rob, it didn't matter what songs on that album you was gonna rock with. Because if you rock with
I gave that one a strong chance. Bro. But yeah, I just couldn't though.
Hey, but hey, good stuff tonight, fellas. Y'all know how we end each and every show. Sports for the
Yeah,
culture.
Sports for the culture.
For the